It's time to get your geek on with Dave Gramillion.
Ah, yes. Welcome here. I am Dave Gramillion. This is Get Your Geek On, the premier talk radio show for Star Wars, Star Trek, DC, Marvel, video gaming, really all things geek that have dominated this little world of ours. You see, geek is not what it was 20 or 30 years ago. Geek is in. Geek is very in. Geek is now the mainstream, and we are here to talk the latest and greatest that is geek right here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer Talk Radio and 930amtheanswer.com. This is Season 2, Episode number 34, and tonight we are going to welcome in a very special guest. In just a few minutes, we will introduce the lovely and talented voice actress Grey DeLisle, and I am uber pumped. I am so excited about this. This is going to be a lot of fun. Star Wars news, where is our Han Solo trailer? We'll be talking about that and why we may be seeing it sooner than you think and why it may be just pushed until who knows when. Some Marvel news. We've got some Infinity War news to talk about as well as Black Panther, and we're going to start something new here. I want to start our Zero and Hero of the Week. We will find someone that we are less than impressed with and someone that probably should deserve more credit than they are actually getting. And it would not be Goose. Sad to say, Goose is neither the Zero nor Hero of the Week, but that's okay. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and introduce our crew here with us tonight. On my left, your right, as you look across the radio dial, you will see the founder of the Star Wars Society of San Antonio, the Grand Poobah, the Grand Admiral. He is our minion, Peter Gonzalez.
I missed my crickets. They're my loyal crickets.
They missed you too, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm going to keep this short because we want to talk to Grey DeLisle.
Yeah, I know. This is going to be fun. Okay, all right. If you look further to our left, your right across the radio dial, you will see the man spinning the ones and zeros. He is our sound prognosticator. He is Goose.
No, there's two O's in Goose.
Goose, how you doing?
I'm good. Let's. We have a guest on the phone.
We have a guest on the line here. Well, I know, but I want to make sure everybody, says hi first, get settled in and everything. So here we go.
They know who we are.
The young lady that I am preparing to bring on here has more than 350 voiced characters to her credits. 500 voice acting credits over 500 really to be honest. It is over 500 as Vegeta would announce. I am honored and thrilled to bring on the lovely and talented Miss Grey DeLisle. Grey, how you doing tonight?
Greetings, peasants. How dare you keep me waiting all that time? I should banish all of you.
She's gonna send flaming volleyballs at every one of us now.
We're by the airport.
I'm doing great. It's good to hear you guys.
I'm thrilled because I'm not only an Avatar fan, but a Clone Wars fan, and who isn't a fan of Daphne and Captain Marvel and Wonder Woman and Derpy and additional voices here and there and everywhere else. So this is gonna be a lot of fun.
Hey, additional voices are what got me through high school.
Very.
It's what gets my little kids through private school in Los Angeles. All those additional voices, those checks from that. I don't care what it is. You get paid the same amount whether you have 50 lines or one line. So I'll take anything.
Outstanding.
I got bills.
Now you have voiced over 350 characters starting in 1989 after you were doing imitations during stand-up comedy. But what is it about voice acting that keeps you going back to the studio time and time again?
Money. No, I just love it. It's the best job ever because, you don't have to look a certain way. I mean, I try to keep it together, but, I had 3 kids and I worked all the way up to, I was still playing like the hot teenager in a half shirt even when I was 9 months pregnant. So it's just the best job ever and I just keep hoping they keep hiring me. Sometimes people complain about it on the internet. They're like, she's in everything. I'm sick of her. And I'm like, well, they're not sick of me yet. So I can't believe they're not sick of me yet, but they keep calling me. So
the only ones that are sick of you are the ones that want to be you. Let's be honest and fair here, okay? Now listen. The next time you read that, you tell James Arnold Taylor to stop it.
Because he's sassy. He's sassy and needs to be put in his place.
Well,
have you played Battlefront yet? Because I play Maz Kanata in that. I don't know if anybody's playing that, but my son was all impressed the other day because I forgot that I did that too, and he's like, Mom, somebody said that you're in my game, and I was like, I don't think so, and then I was like, oh, I am. I love it.
Well, not only Battlefront, but
celebrities.
I'm sorry. Well, I was playing Injustice 2 the other day too, and I heard Catwoman. And I was like, then I put it together. I was like, oh my God, that's her. It really is her. Oh my God.
Wow, David, you seem like a very, very bad kitty to me. Meow.
Good night, everybody. I'm done. Thank you.
Get Your Geek On is officially ended. We can't go any higher than that.
No, there's no higher praise than that.
Good night, folks.
Okay, we're done. Oh, my goodness. Now, it probably comes as no surprise. There was a poll done at BehindTheVoiceActors.com, and that listed Azula as the people's favorite character that you've done. Is she your favorite character? And talk about voicing her in The Last Airbender, particularly when she starts off as so dominating and respectful, and then she just descends into utter madness.
She was so well written. You just don't come across parts like that very often. But I remember just reading when we did the episode of The Beach, where she falls in love with that Chan, and starts trying to flirt and stuff. I remember reading that script the night before and going, oh my God, this is going to be so fun. I cannot wait to flirt as her. It was just such a meaty role, and I just loved to put her in all those different situations and see her be uncomfortable. She was just so uncomfortable that she had to dominate everything, even when she was like, we'll be the most powerful couple in the universe, She couldn't even flirt properly. I loved playing that part. It was one of my favorites of all time, definitely. There's a new part I'm doing now that's also really well written, and I'm really having fun with it. The mom on Queen Moon on Star versus the Forces of Evil. Have you seen it? It's on Disney. It's with this little girl that wears these little devil horns. And anyway, but I play her mother, Queen Moon, and it started out as this like kind of afterthought mom queen part, and now it's just amazing. Like there's a whole backstory. She kind of loses her memory, and there's all kinds of stuff happening. So it's fun. You guys should tune in.
Well, I think that has to do with the quality of the actress that portrays her, but that's just me.
Absolutely. I mean, come on.
No, it wasn't more than I think it was just a couple of weeks ago that we actually sat down with Michael Dante DiMartino. And we talked about the evolution of Sokka and how originally he was supposed to be this small comic relief part, and he grew over time, partially thanks to the voice actor that was playing him. Did you contribute anything off script to help Azula grow in that way as well?
Just acting-wise, the scripts were. I mean, I do improv quite a bit, and I'll add things on a lot of scripts. But these scripts were so well done that I didn't really feel it didn't seem to be lacking anything. If there's nothing broken, I tend not to fix it. But I worked by myself mostly. I didn't really work with the cast very often. So when I went crazy and everything, I was like in tears and like having a total mental breakdown in the booth, and I was all by myself.
You didn't cut your own hair like Azula did. I mean,
no, I'll never do that. My parents were divorced, and I would go visit my dad, and he didn't really know how to do my hair. So every time I would go visit my dad over the summer, he would chop all my hair off, and it was just totally traumatizing.
Ooh.
So now I've got really long hair because I'm like, no, I'm just terrified to cut it. So
now, when you walk into the studio, how do you differentiate someone like Azula from Daphne from Scooby-Doo, or Unikitty from Derpy, or Padme from Ventress? How do you get out of that mindset and into another one?
Gosh, I just put the little character in my head, and when I can see it in my head, for some reason the voice just comes out. Like for Puppy Corn, he's just gonna like, he's real simple, and he's just like always playing with his sister's uniform. And then and Daphne, and sometimes if I'm playing Daphne, I'll go, well, jeepers, it's a creepy mystery. That will kind of get me into it. It's a very creepy mystery, you guys. There's a big scary mansion, and it's so creepy, Freddie. It's just, I don't know, the word creepy kind of gets me into it, or jeepers. And Azula, it's funny, if you're a total nerd, you'll remember Gendy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars from Cartoon Network, like a long time ago, like the original Clone Wars cartoon.
Yes.
I played Padme Amidala.
Yes,
and if you notice, she sounds a lot like Azula, because I kind of put Padme just she was a little bit more like that, and she wasn't She sent it to Palpatine. But she was like nicer, obviously. But so when I did Azula, I did her, but I did her a little bit more evil sounding and they said that when a lot of people auditioned for Azula, they yelled and screamed during their auditions, and I did everything very low down here, and I never ever raised my voice. Everything was here because I thought if she's really that powerful, she doesn't have to scream and yell. So anyway, it worked. It's creepier that way.
3PO, go.
As Daphne was saying.
3PO, go fetch my white snow bunny coat, and if you happen to be blown into 1,000 pieces, then so be it.
She doesn't care. She'll burn up that snow with her blue fire.
Now, Supernatural has announced that they are doing an animated crossover with Scooby-Doo, and they're calling it Scooby Natural.
Yes.
Now, surely, come on. I mean, you voiced Daphne in the Batman crossover, so have you been invited to do Daphne again with the Winchester boys?
Am I allowed to say it? I don't know. Probably. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say for sure or not, but I guess if I wasn't a part of it, I'd say I wasn't, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you would come out and say, no.
I can't answer.
No, they got I don't know, Kat Tabor or Vanessa Marshall or someone, but no, not, they couldn't have, not this time.
I would be happy for them, but I would be very jealous because I love Supernatural. And I'm actually, I'm one of the guys in that show was a dad at my kid's school. Oh shoot, what's his name? I can't. Well, I guess they're both kind of handsome. It wasn't the one on Gilmore Girls. What's the other one's name? I can't remember.
That would be Sam instead of Dean, I think.
Yeah. Anyway,
my wife is yelling at me right now. You don't know. She watches it all the time. So.
Anyway, yeah, he was just a sweetheart. I met him at a convention, and I didn't know about the show, and I was like, he seemed to be really popular, but I was like, what show is it? He's like, it's called Supernatural, and I was like, oh, I've never heard of it. He's like, oh, it's a Canadian show. He was being so nice. He really played it down, and then when we got to the con, because he met at the airport, and then everybody went nuts over him, and then he ended up as a dad at my kid's school, and I was like, hey, I know you from cartoon conventions, and then I started watching the show, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. Anyway,
so when do y'all start recording?
It's all done. We already did it.
Are you serious?
I actually did ADR for it the other day. I hope I'm not going to get killed by Warner Brothers for talking about this.
Well, Warner
I'm sure
Brothers,
people know I'm playing Daphne.
We're tight. I'm sure it's okay. This isn't Star Wars or anything where Disney would put a hit on you or something. So.
I hope your show is wildly unpopular and no one will ever hear this interview.
Yeah, we'll talk about that off air. That's we're in trouble now. So, all right.
Now it's gonna be great.
So, knowing your deep love of music, here's my fun question. I always want to end on something fun that makes my guests go, "Oh my God, you really just asked that." You are officially in charge of a Broadway musical, not off Broadway, not off Broadway. No, this is the real deal. Wonder Woman, Azula, the Enchantress, and Captain Marvel all want to play the lead. Who are you giving the role to?
I'd give it to Captain Marvel. That little shaved haircut. She's, I think she's got to have her day. Everybody else has kind of had their day, and also Captain Marvel's kind of a badass, and she'd probably worm her way into the front up there. Yeah, she'd be a good diva. Yeah, she'd be able to keep everybody else in line, and she wouldn't be too full of herself.
I wonder how Azula would take the news that she lost out to Captain Marvel.
I'm going to burn this theater to the ground. You'll be so sorry you didn't see the wonderfulness in me.
I could listen to this all day. This is going to be our most listened to when it goes to the archive and the podcast. We're going to listen to this like over and over again. This is just too cool. Do you ever do that at home? Do you ever sit there and you're like, Alex Trebek, you fool! How could you mispronounce the answer to that question?
No, well, I do the Wizard of Oz impressions all the time. I've been doing them since I was in high school. I'd be like, I want to go home. Annie, I'm like, I'm frightened. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? I'm not a witch at all. I'm just a little girl. It's all right, also I can think as mayor of Munchkin City, in the county of the land of Oz. I welcome you most legally, eagerly. Anyway, I do the whole movie. And I was in Vegas, and I was at a slot machine, and the voices that they used for the slot machine were just really bad, and they just didn't sound that much like the characters, and I was kind of rolling my eyes, and the guy next to me was like, what? And I go, yeah, the voices they got for the slot machine suck. And he goes, oh, like, you could do a better job. And I rattled off a bunch of them, and I didn't tell him I did voiceovers or anything. He just went, oh, my God, you've been playing the slot machine way too much.
Oh, goodness. All righty. Well, That's it.
Wow.
We're good. That was fantastic. I'm dying over here. I'm like wiping tears because that was fun. Oh,
I had the best time.
I just want to say, great. I'm one of the other guys on the show, and
you can tell her your name. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm Peter, also known as Minion on the show. But yeah, I just wanted to say, I loved your size of interest in Clone Wars.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I am Sis. That was fun.
You just made my day.
And to be honest, the micro series is still my favorite series. That was so much fun to watch.
Beautiful.
And Greg, this is Goose from the show as well. And you give Julie Newmar a run for her money when it comes to Catwoman.
High praise.
She was in the studio the other day, and I have to say, what is she, like 75? I mean, she's definitely older, and she is stunning. She is so gorgeous. I don't know how she does. It's all about dancing when she was young, but I used to have a crush on her from watching the Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. I was like, who's that sister? She's gorgeous, and I didn't realize. And then later on, I was like, oh, she's Catwoman, and I was glad she had done well with her career. I was like, we just can't have her be some background dancer on this. She didn't have much of a part in that movie, but anyway, yeah, no. Oh, well, that's a big compliment, and I take that very much to heart. That was really sweet. Thanks.
Alrighty, so we've heard Minion. You did your sucking up, which was good.
Yeah.
Goose, you went ahead and confessed your love, which is great.
More. I got to watch it.
Great. We want to thank you for taking time out of your day and calling us here. It was a great time. Hopefully, you had a great time too. And we'll have to keep in touch. This was too much fun.
So much fun. Please do keep in touch.
All right.
Take care, guys. Okay.
Have a good night.
Bye. You too. Bye.
Great DeLisle just like killed it.
What a doll.
I mean, is it possible that was the best interview we've had on the show, period?
So far, yeah.
So far.
Yeah, so far. That was so much fun.
I think we're all blushing.
You know what? Let's call her back. Let's just keep her on the whole show.
The heck with the news.
Yeah, we don't need news on this show. What?
What's your take on the Han Solo thing? So,
yeah, how come you're not in the Han Solo thing? I mean, come on. Oh, probably she's in the studio.
Lord,
so
here we
much.
go.
There we go. Let's call her back.
All right. Okay. So we're going to get her to star in everything. She will be the new Captain Marvel.
Welcome to the
we're
Grey
gonna
DeLisle Admiration Hour.
Yeah. Why not? Sure. Absolutely. Oh goodness. All right. That really was.
That
fun.
was very nice of her.
a great night.
She was quite a sport.
Can you imagine? Wesley asked us in the chat. Wouldn't it be a lot of fun if she answered the phone in different voices?
I want to hear her outgoing message.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Hello, you have reached my voicemail, you worthless peasant. If you do not leave a message with exact details, I shall destroy you.
I know
it's a
this.
telemarketer.
One of my goals is to actually get into voice acting, and I would do that. I would totally have an argument with different
telemarketers.
characters.
No, with telemarketers.
No, on my OGM, I would actually have, having a conversation with my
have Wonder Woman cut in. No, that's
characters.
not very nice. I don't care. Have them get into an argument over it. Imagine how much fun you'd have with telemarketers.
Leave a message after the tone. In the Catwoman voice she does? Oh, dang.
Hello, Miss DeLisle. My name is Joe Smith, and I'm wondering if you have enough life insurance. Yes, I do, but you will need more because I shall crush you and destroy you. Can you imagine? Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
And then she ends up in the Captain Marvel voice, Avengers, assemble!
I am Sith.
We're going to find out how much fun you had when I put the lasso of truth around you. There we go.
Some people pay a lot of money for that.
Good night, everybody.
This is not a podcast, guys. This is a radio
Oh, my
program.
goodness. Okay. So with that being said, let's go ahead and we're going to squeeze in a little bit of Star Wars news. We want to find out where we're going to try. Where is that Han Solo trailer? Let's talk Star Wars.
I'm looking forward to completing your training. In time, you will call me Master.
We need to get that little clip where she flirted with me like Catwoman and just keep that.
Oh, are you kidding?
All time.
I've got sound clips galore out of that
my
interview.
God. We're gonna have so much.
Good
No.
Lord.
All three of us.
We need to keep that and make sure
You're going to make that your ringtone, aren't you?
pretty much, yeah. Assuming the wife doesn't doesn't.
Well, no,
she
you can
won't be
make that
around,
her
so-
ringtone when she calls you.
Yes. Oh, hey, now we're talking. All right, good news.
I mean, I'm there for you, sir.
All right, perfect. All righty. So Star Wars news. Where is the Han Solo trailer?
In an edit bay somewhere.
Probably. It's sitting on Ron Howard's shelf. Now, supposedly, some fans got a screening in Munich, Germany, of the entire movie. For some strange reason, Star Wars has had a love affair with Germany. They got the last, it was the 2014 celebration, I think it was, in Essen, Germany.
No way.
And they got a sneak peek of The Force Awakens out in Germany. And now apparently they've got one there. And the reviews were awesome. People just loved it.
Oh.
Now, we did get a confirmation of 3 planets that will be in the film. And that's Mimban, Corellia, and Kessel. Which pretty much all but guarantees we're going to have the Kessel Run.
Well, if I was going to say, because when I started hearing the Kessel Run, one thing that, since I'm a big Han Solo fan, what I'm kind of hearing from a lot of different sites out there is if we're going to see something along the lines of maybe the corporate sector authority as the main villains instead of the Empire. Now, the great thing about that, and this is a little gem, if you can probably find it at any bookstore, check out the Brian Daley novels that he did like in the late 70s. They're so sci-fi, but they're more action, and they were, I'd love to see the corporate sector authority as the main villains. Something that's different besides the Empire.
Something different, especially because we haven't seen the corporate authority before.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, in the history of ever.
That'd be great to see. How we're going to do it, I don't know, but we'll see. I'm still holding on for the trailer. I still have hope.
I still have hope that this movie is actually going to be any good.
I don't.
Really, you're done?
I think I'm done.
You think it's gonna suck?
I think it's the first week it may do okay, but that second week is going to be horrible.
Well, here's my story on it. I wrote an op-ed over at getyourgeekon.org/news. You can read all of our op-eds, interviews, reviews, and more on the website. And if you subscribe, you'll get the news sent right to your inbox. No spam, just the news at getyourgeekon.org. And the idea has come out, and it's almost all but confirmed, that the trailer will be released, at least in a teaser form, during the Super Bowl, which is tomorrow. And in the event that happens, in my opinion, it is a desperate move by Disney.
You think?
Because every Star Wars trailer that has been shown beforehand was always shown online, which meant they did it for free. It didn't cost them a penny, and they would routinely get 10, 20, 30, 100 million views, no problem.
Uh-huh.
If they want to get it out in front of as many eyeballs as possible, then 2 things have to happen. First, it better be a really good trailer.
Yes.
If it's just the logo with the Imperial March playing behind it, then you've wasted $5 million.
And the Falcon.
And the Falcon zooming by, then you've wasted $5 million. But you do need to get this in front of as many eyeballs as possible, and the Super Bowl is that stage. There will be at least 110 million people watching this game.
Minimum.
Because that's what it's averaged over the last 5 years. Even if, let's assume the NFL Super Bowl takes a hit in the ratings and only 100 million people watch. Well, it's still 100 million. That's more than you're going to get from a YouTube or Facebook release. I mean, maybe you'll get that over time, but you're not going to get that overnight. There's no way. So this is the way to get it out there. But that being said, I mean, it better be one hell of a trailer, which we said about Star Trek Discovery. Remember Star Trek Discovery, before it came out, everybody hated it. They hated the uniforms, the Klingons, the ship, the time, everything. We all did. Everybody in the studio hated it, and everybody out there hated it. And then the trailer came out, and we were like, oh.
Well, you and I watched the premiere, which, by the way, did not have Discovery in it.
Well, that's true enough.
But we walked out there saying, oh, wow, this looks like it could be really good. So far it is.
And it is possible that the Han Solo movie could still be really good.
Yeah, but they're also saying that they're going to have the full trailer for it the following day on Monday.
On Good Morning America.
Which would make sense.
Right.
That would make sense.
They do the teaser and then say, tune into Good Morning America tomorrow for the full.
But they did do that. They did do that for Iron Man 3.
Well, they're still spending $5 million at a minimum to do this. Now, I know Disney has gazillions of dollars.
Pocket change.
But they don't. But it's not about the money. It's about timing and the event itself. The fact that they have to do this during the Super Bowl to save it is not good. It's desperate.
They showed one of the Jurassic Park movie trailers during the Super Bowl.
Well, but that's different though. Because it's not Star Wars.
Jurassic World was basically a reboot of the Jurassic Park franchise, where Solo is
a standalone.
A standalone movie.
I still think it's
a standalone movie where nobody likes the guy they picked for Han Solo. Nobody likes who they picked for Lando. Nobody likes Woody Harrelson in this movie. Nobody likes the fact that it's even made. People are scratching their heads saying, "Why are they
some of the
doing
stuff
this?"
I've been hearing is just they're looking at what's his name? Donald Grover is Lando.
Glover.
Yeah, okay.
Glover.
They're saying that he may be the what may save the movie. He may be the
Saving Grace
or saving Lando.
He might be, but that trailer had better be really good because we have 15 weeks to go as of this air date. 15 weeks until the movie. No trailer. It better be one whale of a trailer if you're going to drop $5 million on it. All right, coming up after the bottom half of the hour news break. I don't know how we're going to top the first half of the hour. We'll try. We have Marvel news to talk about, including our question of the week. We got some Black Panther news, as well as our Zero and Hero of the Week, a new segment coming up here on Get Your Geek On 9:30 a.m. The Answer Talk Radio. All righty, welcome back from the bottom of the hour news break. This is Get Your Geek On 9:30 a.m. The Answer Talk Radio. I am Dave Gramillion, and if you missed the first half of the show, stop what you're doing and listen. Go back and listen to it, then get caught up. We interviewed Grey DeLisle, the renowned voice actress, and that I think we're really close to saying that was our best interview we've ever had on the show. She was fun. She flirted with me, but she did it as Catwoman. Yet nobody cares about y'all. But the voice of Azula, Padme, Daphne, Ventress, and so much more. She was our
next
interview,
week, David Gramillion will be producing his own program.
Hey-oh. We also talked about the Han Solo trailer. Where is it, and why haven't we seen it, and when might we hear from it? I'll give you a hint. It could be as soon as tomorrow. And with that being said, let's go ahead and check out some Marvel news here, shall we?
Sequel to the smash hit with no equal. This one's for the true fans with Hulk hands and action figures. Flying,
this segment brought to you by our friends over at Laser Legend, our longest running sponsor, and for good reason, because they are simply awesome. 4,000 square foot video arcade where I have regained my crown as the #1 score for all of Star Trek pinball. Don't even play the theme. Nice try, Goose, but no, that's okay. Also, a two-floor laser tag arena, as well as indoor miniature golf. The weather's getting crazy out there, but it is starting to warm back up. Get inside, head over to our friends over at Laser Legend, enjoy their party rooms, and enjoy their wonderful Photon Torpedo that we've eaten, all of us. Fantastic food, great drinks, really just an all-around great place to go. Laser Legend is on the north side of San Antonio off of Loop 1604 and Lookout Road. Not quite to I-35 and not quite to Rolling Oaks Mall either. Alrighty, so also want to drop a quick mention about our website, getyourgeekon.org. We are getting ready to gear up for our March Madness tournament. I know it's only February, but trust me, guys, this thing will be here before you know it. You want to get registered on the website, it's real simple. Just subscribe to our news and you're in. And then you can just wait. And when the March Madness news comes out, you can sign up, no problem. You can also subscribe to get some of the latest news, breaking news, interviews, reviews, opinion pieces, and oh so much more news. And the best part is no spam. Absolutely no spam. I don't sell email addresses. I don't do that to you. You will get the news sent right to your inbox when you subscribe at getyourgeekon.org/news. Alrighty, so our question of the week is Marvel related because Infinity War is on the way.
Yes.
Infinity War is very much on the way.
Question for you.
Ooh, indeed.
In May.
Yes.
When Infinity War releases.
Yes.
Infinity War or Solo?
If I had to pick one, Infinity War. Hands
There you
down,
go.
no hesitation on that one. We've been waiting for this since Age of Ultron. So absolutely, give me this.
We've been waiting for this since
Iron
Avengers
Man.
when Thanos first appeared.
Absolutely. So, but here's our question of the week, and we did this over on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GYGO Radio. Star Wars The Last Jedi currently sits at $1.3 billion worldwide box office gross. That's lower than even I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to hit about 1.6. Will Avengers Infinity War beat the worldwide number? If so, by how much? And if not, what would cause that? So let's read a couple of these answers that we got here, a couple of comments on our Facebook page. Connor, and again, you know what? I'm a radio guy. I'm not a linguist, so I'm going to butcher last names, and I apologize for that in advance. Connor Shichetti says, as a hardcore Star Wars fan that absolutely loved The Last Jedi, there is no denying that Avengers Infinity will beat it out. Ouch. That's tough to say for a hardcore Star Wars fan. But, yeah. Jimmy McWirt says that he loves Star Wars, but I think Infinity War beats it handily. Probably $1.8 or $1.9 billion. Ouch. That's Force Awakens territory right there. That's some serious stuff. Matthew Hardy says the first Avengers carried $1.5 billion, Age of Ultron $1.4 billion. I would say Infinity War would be around $1.5 billion worldwide. So he's calling his shot. He's already called it at $1.5 billion. We'll call ours later when we get closer to May. Neil Hunt says, I don't know. Personally, I'm a big Star Wars enthusiast, but I really can't get excited about Avengers. Too much fighting just bores me, which is also true of the fighting in Revenge of the Sith, especially at the end. But TLJ that's The Last Jedi. He's heading for a similar percentage of the box office compared to The Force Awakens. So, okay. Marcelsko says, doesn't matter. It's going to make a crap ton of money, which none of us will ever see. That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes for a good discussion topic, I think. Minion, what do you think?
Oh, I just can't wait to see it. I mean, they've been building on this. I mean, they've been building up to this thing for so long. I don't see how this is not going to be a hit.
Well, it'll be a hit, that's for sure. But will it surpass The Last Jedi?
That's hard to say. I kind of think it will, mainly because, I mean, well, like I said, because the hype on this thing has just been building for so long. The Star Wars, you can't really compare the two unless you're watching action figure theater. Never mind. But I think with the Star Wars thing, I mean, everything is kind of set in a certain thing, but it's still kind of unfolding. We're not sure what to expect with it. Infinity War, if you've read the comics, you kind of know what to kind of expect. But I'm pretty sure they're going to throw in a few little surprises as well.
Goose, what do you think? Which one's going to come out on top here?
Well, if Will Wheaton came to me and said...
Who?
Will Wheaton.
Okay.
Said, Goose, The Last Jedi is going to do better than Infinity War at the box office. I would tell him...
Shut up, Wesley.
That sounds about right. I mean, I'll call my shot right now. I say it will do better than The Last Jedi. I don't think it's going to be close.
And I don't think there's going to be as much disparity between critics and fans.
I don't think there will be either, unless something happens where it's just an absolute bomb. I mean, I don't know what could even cause that. I mean, this thing has hit written all over it.
Mark Ruffalo's kind of...
Mark Ruffalo is ruffling feathers the wrong way.
that could do something, but...
They bring in Zack Snyder at the last second.
Oh, no. Who would be the worst person to bring in? Zack Snyder or Michael Bay?
Oh. Or they replace Captain America with Tommy Wiseau.
You are tearing me apart, Black Widow.
It's a fake.
Oh, hi, Cap. They start throwing the football around. You know, that'd be fine. Gary Carr says Avengers will be the top grossing film of 2018. However, I do not think it will beat The Last Jedi. I do think that Avengers and Han Solo will battle it out.
You know, I'm really easy to get along with most of the time. But I don't like bullies, and I don't like threats, and I don't like you.
You're welcome.
Joshua Vick also says, I honestly do think Infinity War will beat out The Last Jedi. He thinks $2.2 billion. 2.2.
Remember, you are my number one guy.
All right, for those of y'all who are keeping score at home, the number one box office movie of all time is Avatar at 2.7, almost 2.8 billion. Titanic, 2.18 billion. So he's thinking it'll beat out Titanic.
I hope so.
Of course,
I hope it beats out both of those, and James Cameron gets a awful nice taste of humble pie.
If you adjust for inflation, Gone with the Wind is still the highest grossing movie of all time. A New Hope is second. Can you guess what the number 3 highest grossing movie of all time would be?
Jaws or E.T.?
Nope. E.T. is number 4.
Oh.
Jaws is number 7.
Oh.
So you're close.
Close Encounters?
The Force Awakens?
Close Encounters did not make the top 10.
One of the Police Academy movies?
Nope. Amazingly enough, Pat Proft's Police Academy movies did not make it.
What?
Pat Proft, a Geek or Geek On alumni, now joined by Gray DeLisle. No, instead, the number 3 highest grossing movie of all time when you adjust for inflation, The Sound of Music. Now a Disney property.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
There you go. Alrighty. All right, so let me read off just a couple more before we move on here. Jimmy Draper says easily $3 billion.
Make it so.
$3 billion. $3 billion. There's never been a $3 billion movie, but okay, if you think
it could happen.
You know,
Anything
you think
can
so,
happen.
that's what you think. Alrighty, so earlier last year, we reported that there will be 60 characters that you will see in the Avengers Infinity War movies. Now that number, according to DigitalSpy.com, has been up to 76.
What?
Nice.
76. I mean, they are cramming in as many characters as they can possibly think of.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, right. Okay, but who?
But you know who's not going to be in it? Captain America's love interest. It has been confirmed that the niece of Peggy Carter, and it was Susan, I think.
Sharon
Carter, will not be in the Infinity War movie.
I'm okay with that, actually.
Yeah, I don't mind.
It's okay. You know, he's got other things to do.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, you'd think they would bring in the love interest so that when they kill Captain America off...
Shut your face.
It hurts that much more.
Shut your face.
All right, and more Marvel news. So this was interesting. We reported on this earlier in the week. Someone has claimed to be behind something rather devilish, I have to admit.
Yeah, that person is horrible.
Back in the day, when The Last Jedi came out, critics were high on it, but the audience was hovering like around 48, 49% on RottenTomatoes.com. And everybody ran with this as the fans hate it, and now Star Wars is on a decline. USA Today, CNN, MSNBC, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, everyone was reporting on it, including GetYourGeekOn.org, saying, oh my God, what is going on with this film? Well, somebody came out and said they were actually behind this movement to sabotage these films. And the purpose behind sabotaging it was so that people would say, oh, well, the fans don't like it. I'll wait for Blu-ray. I'll wait for Netflix. It's not worth it. And the theater box office gross would drop because this person hates Disney for some reason. So now they came out and they created a page and they publicly started to create events that would do the same thing to the Black Panther and Han Solo movies.
I don't think Han Solo is going to have a fake campaign against it.
Hey,
but we don't have the old Sarlacc segment anymore.
We made it bringing that back. I'll consider bringing that back. But
so what should we do with these people?
We should absolutely put them in.
There you go.
So, you know, I'm trying to maintain my composure because things like this. See, what he doesn't understand is the idiot behind this, the scum-sucking bottom dweller who can't seem to get a life at all and is so filled with hate that he wakes up hating something and goes to bed hating something. It is just so full of misery. I actually pity this poor soul. This person is not just impacting Disney's bottom line. There are people who work on these films, writers, directors, grips, sound mixers, prop makers, puppeteers, CGI artists,
caterers.
Not just the caterers,
sound
the actors.
prognosticators.
Absolutely. All of these people that work on these movies, and it impacts their bottom line as well. These guys are just working on a film. They're doing what they love, which is working on movies. You hurt Disney, you hurt them as well. And so that's what this person is too narrow-minded to understand. But hey, there's good news. There is good news on the horizon. Because this person's page no longer exists. Facebook took it down.
Yay.
Facebook took it down. I don't know what their grounds were, but we wrote an article about it at getyourgeekon.org. And when I clicked the link to go back to the page to see if there have been any new developments, page was gone. Events gone. So there will not be an organized attempt to ruin the Black Panther's user ratings on RottenTomatoes.com. Now, Han Solo is still 15 weeks off, so who knows what will happen.
At least not on Facebook.
At least not on Facebook. So that's some good news. I mean, what 4chan does with it, that God only knows. So there we go. Speaking of Black Panther, the world premiere was Monday night. George Lucas was there with a shaved beard. Did you see that?
Was it in Germany?
It was not. No,
Okay.
this was in California, but he was there. He had like some that Vinny Del Negro kind of stubble going on, but he had no beard.
We got to find a picture of this because that's just iconic. George with the beard.
Yeah, it was freaky.
And was he wearing a flannel shirt?
No, he wore tux,
Okay.
but he may or may not have been sitting in a chair drinking a coffee cup.
Maybe he saw that Legends of Tomorrow episode with him and wanted to see how it looked again.
Yeah.
That could be. I could see that. Here are some excerpts from the premiere. These are some of the reactions. Quote, Black Panther is exceptional. The James Bond of the MCU.
Ooh.
I'm not quite sure what that means, but it sounds good. Lots of gadgets, secret agents. Has M and Q.
See, I always thought Captain America was kind of the James Bond of the MCU.
I could see that.
Yeah.
In Winter Soldier, especially.
Especially
more
Winter
of a-
Soldier.
Yeah, a lot of cloak and dagger stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Quote, the antagonist has an arc with emotional motivations. Oh my God, this is the line that got me excited. This is the line right here because we discussed this on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GYGO radio. Great villains make great movies.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
If you have a great movie, chances are you have a fantastic villain. So to have a great villain, which Marvel has actually gotten slammed for, among, that not having a female-led movie yet.
Right.
I know Captain Marvel's coming, but it's not here, so it is what it is. But they've been slammed for having some weak villains before.
With the exception of maybe Loki and maybe Red Skull.
Yeah, Red Skull wasn't that strong of a villain, though.
He was all right.
Yeah,
he was all right.
They've had some all-right villains, but not really any great ones.
Yeah,
so this may buck that trend.
Whiplash was pretty good in Iron Man 2.
I thought he was the weakest part of Iron Man 2.
But he was a good villain.
Where's my bud?
Abomination
Want my bud.
Incredible Hulk was really good.
Yeah, that was all right.
Yeah.
So, quote, the first MCU film that has an actual sense of identity and history. Wakanda is alive. Wow. Okay, first of all, I think Captain America, the First Avenger, has a sense of identity and history.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. But at the same time, that line, Wakanda is alive, that makes me excited to see the setting.
Right.
And to learn more about Wakanda itself.
The heavily CGI'd setting.
Who cares? It worked for Avatar,
and
didn't it?
I've always enjoyed when they've gone to the Wakanda in the comics. That's always been a fun ride.
I mean, and if Avatar can pull off a CGI setting that took everyone's breath away, let's see Wakanda. Let's see what they can do with this. There was also plenty of praise for Michael B. Jordan, who was the villain. Quote, Michael B. Jordan, and this is just one excerpt, Michael B. Jordan absolutely kills it as the villain.
He's going to get redemption for that horrible Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, he's saying, yes, I can act in a superhero movie. Don't worry, I got it covered. That excites me. I really want to see a great villain. I'm trying to think of the great villains that we've had in Marvel movies. Ultron wasn't half bad.
Ronan was pretty good.
Ronan was all right.
Loki
was all right.
Yeah.
It was all right. I'm trying to think. Have there really been any...
The Vulture?
The Vulture was a great villain.
That was
a great villain. But DC really has the great villains, with the exception of Steppenwolf.
Well, Hela was a good villain.
Hela was all right.
He's a hell of a good villain.
Hello.
Oh, Lord.
DC has always had the great villains.
Yeah.
Well, not the DCEU.
Well, that's true. The Joker, leading off there. Steppenwolf was terrible. The Enchantress was awful. But other than that...
Zod wasn't bad.
I liked Zod in Man of Steel.
Zod wasn't bad.
I liked Zod because, again, he had motivations. I'm trying to save Krypton. If I
wanted to slap Luthor in the face in Batman vs. Superman.
Who didn't want to slap Luthor in the face?
Fight night. Let's put a Jolly Rancher in your
I'm not even
mouth.
going to play the clip.
Ha-ha!
That's how much I don't like it. I'm not even going to play that clip.
So there's plenty of praise for Michael B. Jordan, and I like that. I really do. That gets me going. But the big question is, I don't want to discuss this. I really don't, but I feel like we have to anyway, the racial overtones. Because there's a lot of people out there that are either not going to see this because this is a largely black cast, or they're going to see it simply because it's a largely black cast.
What is this, 2008 now?
Hey-oh.
Hey,
No,
what is this, 1967?
No, it's 2018, where unfortunately it's more polarized and as divisive as ever. For me, and this is, Star Wars has come under some flack from social justice warriors because, there's too much diversity and they make all the guys look like idiots. Okay, first of all, you haven't seen any comedy in the 80s because every comedy in the 80s, the guys were idiots.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, come on. Yeah. Mr. Mom, Gung Ho, Michael Keaton movies, obviously. But pretty much any comedy, the guys were idiots. and the girls ended up saving the day at some point,
All
or
right,
making them look good. 3 Men and a Baby.
3 Men and a Baby was a great movie.
Yeah, but the guys are idiots.
Okay.
Goonies, come on.
Goonies.
Guys are idiots.
Princess Bride.
Guys are idiots.
Really? Wesley's an idiot?
Well, okay, not all the guys, but a lot of the guys.
Hey, come on. Indiana Jones was not an idiot.
And that franchise started in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Okay, so there you go.
But it didn't take place in the 80s.
It's an 80s, well, it's a 30s movie.
Took place in the 30s, yeah. What was it? It was 39 for Raiders, 36 for Temple of Doom?
36 was...
Temple?
No, Raiders.
How come,
34 was
how come they had Nazis and Hitler in 1936?
They just came to power.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, seriously, back in the 30s, that's when Hitler was out there looking.
Yeah, that was before they started conquering, but they were rising to power.
Okay, I'll have to look into that because. Okay, so that would put Temple of Doom at 34.
A year before 35.
35. Okay.
And
all
then
right, cool.
Then Last Crusade was late 30s, early 40s.
30, about a year before World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. All right. So anyway, like we were talking about here,
I know my indie.
For me, race doesn't matter. I don't know. Maybe I'm just wired differently. I just want a good movie.
So do I. So, I mean, social justice warriors are going to be the death of the movie industry, the TV industry, and the comedy industry.
Yeah, because everything has to be tailored to what they think, but there's so many different opinions that you can't tailor something to what they think.
You can't watch a George Carlin comedy special and not be triggered.
He
did it to trigger people.
Exactly.
You can't remake Blazing Saddles.
All the more,
you can't do that.
All the more reason to remake Blazing Saddles.
I showed part of that clip of that in my history class and got away with it.
Can't do it. Can't do it anymore. No.
Of course, the principal was off campus at the time, but
yeah, that kind of helps. So,
was that the first or the second time you worked there?
Hey-oh.
At the end of my tenure at that school.
Yeah, that could be why.
So we're looking forward to Black Panther. I think it's going to be a massive hit. I think it's going to be bigger than people think. My opening prediction, I think it's going to. They're calling 110 to 120. I can see 135 out of this opening weekend. 135 million opening weekend. I can see it.
I can see that.
I could see it.
I can see it. All right, so let's talk about something new. Earlier this year, I mentioned that we're going to make a few minor changes to the show. And, just things here and there. We've been on the air for a year and a half now, so I wanted to introduce something new. And that is our Zero and Hero of the Week. I wanted to kind of point out a couple of things, leave you, the listener, on the show with kind of something to, maybe do a little research on or something to feel good about. So our Zero and Hero of the Week here on Get Your Geek On.
And so the zero, here's something for that. Let me know if you like this.
Oh, go for it.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
That's not bad.
We'll tweak it. This is new thing.
Yeah, this is brand new. We've never done this before. My Zero of the Week is Facebook. And not for the obvious reasons that they keep banning me from sharing the news into groups. Although, they keep doing that. Mm-hmm. Now, Facebook, because they took over streaming of Dota 2 and screwed up on their first tournament. If you listened last week, I think it was last week, we did a lot of esports news.
Yes.
And we mentioned how Facebook was getting into the streaming game for these esports. All right, so the first big tournament for Dota 2, Defense of the Ancients 2, and this is the tournament of tournaments for esports.
Yes.
Last year at the International, which is their final tournament, the winning 5-member team took home $10.8 million. So here we go. We're starting up. They get their first big tournament over at Facebook. Mm-hmm. $400,000 prize pool up for grabs, plus points toward the International. And they screw it up. There were tech problems. The feed kept cutting out. The lag was bad. The sound sometimes wouldn't sync up.
I was nowhere near it, I swear.
And people had trouble finding the stream. When you go to twitch.com, Dota 2 is right there they put up the most popular games on the homepage. Right there. All you got to do is click and you're there. Instead, Facebook, you had to go to their esports. You had to find the page. Then on the page, you had to find the right stream. And you had to take this. Okay. And then there. And yeah, it was hard to find. So the viewership was low.
The hamster died on the live stream because it was on the.
That's what it was. They had to change out hamsters. My hero of the week, the cast of the Marvel Universe Live Stunt Show. Kind of like a glorified Six Flags stunt show. Do you want to try something for that?
We'll tweak it.
We'll work up something. So it's a glorified Six Flags stunt show that's held indoors. There's Week on the Story, but kind of like if you've ever been to Disney on Ice, There's no story there, although they try to have one. It's all about the ice and the skating. So the cast went to visit some sick kids at the University of North Carolina Children's Hospital because they were too sick to come see the show. Some of them were critically ill, some just had the flu. But here's the catch, is that the university had to institute a new policy because of all the flu kids, and anyone under the age of 11 could not visit. So siblings were separated. They couldn't see their older or younger brothers or sisters. And, I mean, that's rough. I mean, they weren't even allowed in the building. I mean, it was terrible. So the cast went out, and they visited the kids in costume. Spider-Man's jumping around. They all stayed in character, and it was a great time. So I'm naming the cast of the Marvel Universe Live Stunt Show our Hero of the Week. Alrighty, so that will go ahead and wrap it up here. I want to thank our special guest, Gray DeLisle, for calling in and giving a most epic interview. If you want to tweet at us, you can find us at GYGO_radio. Shoot me an email at davethehost@getyourgeekon.org. For Goose, for Minion, and for myself, I do want to thank our sponsors, Laser Legend and The Mailing Spot. Thank you for listening. Be excellent to each other, and make sure to get your geek on every single day.